Good afternoon. Welcome to Breaking Free. Today we are tackling a deeply personal and powerful reality that many people are silently living with pain from their past. Trauma, disappointment, rejection, and loss have shaped their thoughts, their choices, and even their identity. But here is the truth. Your past may have happened to you, but it doesn't have to define you. I'm your host, Moses Mulenga, aka The People. Our guest today is a living testimony of transformation from addiction, brokenness, near self-destruction to becoming a voice of hope, a mental health advocate, and a man walking in purpose. Welcome to the program, Evangelist Chishimba.
Thank you very much, and how are you?
Very much fine.
And greetings to the viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you. It's a blessing to have you.
Thank you.
Sure. Take us back for a moment. Who was Brian before the healing journey began?
Okay, thank you very much. Brian Chishimba was a person who was an academic genius, just one, well-to-do child growing up in the fear of God, and of course having favor even from men. I mean, the surrounding neighbors, where they loved me because of who I am and what I used to do, because I was respectful and I was determined to pursue higher in academic journey. I was raised by my grandmother. Both parents died when I was about 6 years old.
Okay.
So I did my grade 1 up to 7 at Kasanda Malombe Primary School. There at Kasanda Malombe, I passed very well. I got very good grades, and my uncle who was staying here in Lusaka picked me and made a very good decision to move me from Kabwe to Lusaka and enrolled me at Kablonga Boys Secondary School, where I did my grade 8 and 9. And at grade 9, I was one of the best students. I scored 512 marks in the sport to go to Hillcrest National Technical School in Livingstone. Great. Where I pursued my grade 10 to 12. In fact, it was at Hillcrest where the journey of substance use began.
Okay. Thank you so much, Evangelist. Evangelist, what are some of the early life experiences that deeply shaped whom you've become now?
Yeah. The first experience is growing up, though it was traumatizing. Okay. Growing up without seeing my parents, especially my mother. I don't know who she was, and I don't even understand how she was, but all what I know is that she loved me. And of course, looking at how other people are loved by their parents, so I'm also meant to believe that my mom also loved me. So when I was growing up, I was raised by my grandmother, who loved me very much, and I believed that because of that pain, I was supposed to get the best, and I believed in my intelligence, and I would concentrate in my academic journey, such that every time we wrote the exams, especially from grade 1 to grade 9, I was among the best, because I wanted to prove a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What led into addiction? Was it gradual or sudden?
For me, it was gradual, because in grade 10, after getting the best student, qualifying to go to Hillcrest National Technical School, at Hillcrest, I started. I was in first. They used to call me Brian Bronx, okay, Bonarivex, Geodanksi, Gila Muffin. So that before they were calling me Brian Bronx, Bonarivex, Geodanksi, Gila Muffin, they used to call me Stongwani.
Okay.
Stongwani means a hyena.
A hyena.
Chimbwi, no plan, like someone who has no plan, who has no focus, who has no vision. Only he doesn't join other people. Like those who drink. Guys, those days we used to look at those who drink, those who hang around with girls. They've got vision.
Yes.
So us who loved books, we were like Chimbwis, no plan. So the same guys who used to call me, they're the ones who introduced me to alcohol. I found them drinking, and in fact it was on 24th October, that was 2001, yeah, on Independence Day. I found them drinking and they invited me to the table, and that's how I got drunk. And when I drank, I felt high, I felt good, and I was looking forward for a day again I would drink, and this day was the closing day. Again I drank, and now in grade 11 I wanted now to be drinking even opening day, every day. Unfortunately, I was caught drunk in school. I was suspended at Eucharist. After being suspended, I was recalled back to school. Now that time I started now abusing alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes. Even now, at the age of 17, we even started going out of the boarding school to go in nightclubs, and even starting at a younger age, sleeping also with sex workers.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, by the time I was in grade 12, I was now already addicted to alcohol and drugs, and I started just abusing them. And in grade 12, the name now came out, a famous guy, Brand Bronx, Bonarivex, Jodanks, Jiramafin, just drinking every time.
Sure.
Then in grade 12, term 3, when we were about to sit for our exams, I went and got drunk. We bought what we called, because I was born on the 7th November, so we went and bought 7 alcoholic spirits of 750 mils, 7 by 750 mils of spirits, and we drank. I got so drunk, then came back in school, started insulting everyone, including the head teacher.
Sorry.
The head teacher, who personally took me now to the police cells, and I was arrested. That was the first time I was arrested, on my 18th birthday. After being arrested, kept in the police cell for the first time. The following day was a Saturday. I pleaded with the police officers to say I'm writing my exams. That's how I was released, and came back in school, and I was expelled.
Okay.
Only allowed to sit for my grade 12 exams, which I sat for, and I didn't pass to get the results I wanted to get. Of course, I was aiming to get 6 points, because my dream career was to become either a medical doctor, engineer, or a mathematician, because I was very good in mathematics. So I didn't get the 6 points I was determined to get, but by the grace of God, I managed to get 9 points, 9 in 5 and 12 in 6, and I earned myself a spot at the Copperbelt University, where I went to go and pursue a degree, a bachelor's degree at Copperbelt in 2006. This is 20 years ago. So whilst I was just in first year, I was being sponsored by the government, and every time I was not attending lectures, I was always drunk, always smoking, doing all sorts of things. So when the time for the exams came, to pass now to go in the next year, I was not ready to sit for the exams. So I felt like an academic failure. So I didn't know what to do. And now to go back again to my grandmother and say, Nafirwe Skuru CBU, like I failed to finish my degree. So I just felt like life has nothing good for me. So what do? I went on the first floor, then threw myself from the first floor because I wanted to commit suicide. Hit on the ground, and that had my front teeth broken. So you can see these are just these are dentures.
Sure.
So I had my front teeth broken. I was unconscious for 3 days and admitted to Kitwe Central Hospital for a period of a month. Then when I came out, doctors recommended that I be disengaged on medical grounds.
Okay.
So that's how I left CBU, and I was now called a university dropout. because I couldn't finish. I was listed among the dropouts. So I felt like I had failed in life. Came back, started living with my grandmother, stealing from her, doing all sorts of things.
Okay.
Until one day when I was drinking, somebody, because I used to move with my grade 12,
Yes.
showing people that here I am. This is what I've done. So one man, is elder than me. He said, this young man is very intelligent. Let me talk to him. That's how he told me, don't you want to work for a job in the government? Says, yes, I've been looking for that. That's how he asked me to apply. That's how I applied for a job, and I was given that position in the government, and I was posted to Mansa Luapula province.
Okay.
That was my first posting. I went to Mansa, where I worked for 8 years. Whilst I was working in Mansa, I even got married, and even had my firstborn child, who is 15 years old, and there the addiction now was severe. I could mistreat my wife, do all sorts of things, and the woman I was married to also could no longer continue to live with me. So what does she do? She filed for a divorce, and I was divorced. And it became so painful. I suffered from depression, such that one time in 2013, under high intoxication, I drank a lot. I committed an offense. I started putting down campaign posters, and I was arrested, and I was remanded in Mansa State Prison. So I was in Mansa State Prison for a period of 2 to 3 months. But the candidate who stood on the political party understood that this young man, I always see him, it's just alcohol and drugs. Yeah. So that's how he came and withdrew the case, and that's how I was acquitted under Section 201, like somebody who had not committed any offense. So when I came out of prison, I continued now to drink, showing off to the people that me, I'm a superstar. But I remember very well that there was a time when I just came out, I wanted to prove to everyone that they cannot arrest us. I stopped bathing, I was just drinking, until I got very sick. I was absenting myself from work. Imagine you have been divorced. Everyone, you are a laughing stock. I got very sick. That's how they had to send an ambulance from UTH to come and pick me from where I was and brought me to UTH, where I was admitted, and UTH, they said, now we are referring him to Chinama. I was in Chinama, I was admitted to Chinama Hills College Hospital for the first 3 months. In fact, I was there a series of months, a total of about 8 months, but in intervals. So the first admission was 3 months, where they did their investigations, and I was diagnosed with alcohol use disorder, generalized brain atrophy, and also HIV, and also liver damage. So there was no hope for me, and also neuropsychiatric squid, which is as a result of poor controlled retroviral disease. I had series of admissions at Chinama, and eventually I lost my job.
Did you at any point feel like it was difficult for you to come out of that addiction?
Yes. The point came. Okay. Essentially the point when I started seeking for change.
Okay.
When I started seeking for change. But before that, I would enjoy. Where people would say, I remember a friend of mine, may he so rest in peace, we could sometimes stand with him and start saying, hey, how many ladies have you hammered? Me have hammered 2 Marco Polos or 3 buses. You see, because you used to enjoy. Okay. You see, enjoy drinking, but the time when I realized that, especially when I suffered divorce, was in prison, and also lost employment. Now, I even had no dentures. I knew I was looking like, I don't love using this word, like a proper junk. I was finished. And now I wanted a way to stabilize my life. So that was a point which was difficult to break away. It was like an arm lock. Okay. I remember my uncle.
Evangelist.
Yes.
There was That's powerful, and I'm sure our viewers, you are watching, please invite people to watch this program so that they get to learn from our evangelist, who also happens to be a mental health and clinical psychiatrist. Evangelist, did you at any point said enough is enough?
Yes. So now it is coming. That point happened in 2016, on 31st March. After I'd lost everything, I became somebody who now was being kept by my uncle. Now there was no hope for me. Then now, on the 31st March, my uncle woke up and prayed for me. So now, after he prayed for me, I wanted to go and drink.
Okay.
So when I reached at the bar, I had no money. So if you've taken, you shiver.
Yes.
Unjenja, you just need to take a spirit, mutima, ufendere, like wapola, you know how it is in reality.
Exactly.
So I went at the bar. So found this young man. I told him, why nikuli kajunta. And kajunta that time was 4 kwacha. So he bought that kaspirit. So now he gave it to me. I was supposed to just drink like half or pangona. I leave. Now me, I hammered Garrett. Namvirana mutima. Yeah. Now the insults. Iwachi mutara. Mana kupisha nchito. Wale serezera moba. Ona wani paisa ine. Ine mo wafokwat. As I was looking him, bama muline. So that one, it was so embarrassing that moment.
Okay.
Then they teamed against me and chased me, and that's how I went home. So the following day was 1st April 2016. My uncle came and woke me up at 05 that, Mr. Brand, at your workplace, they've given you back your job. So run and get your job. So me in my mind that there is even money. So in my mind was that when I go to my workplace, I'll get my money and come and show the guys. To only reach there and find that it was April Fool's Day.
Okay.
And that was the time I felt so bad.
So,
and started crying. And the whole 40 minutes from my former workplace to home, I was crying. And I reached home. And because me, I didn't want anything to do with Jesus or God. Because I believe that God who loved me is the one who killed my parents.
Sure.
So what do I have to do with him?
Sure.
He's so powerful. He allows my parents because that pained me. So now that was the time when I reached home. Because me, I believed in my intelligence. So when I reached home that day, that's the day I said, Uncle Kafupi, I think I need this Jesus.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Evangelist.
So that was the point. That was the beginning.
Evangelist, who and what played a key role in your recovery?
Yeah, of course, my uncle, Dr. Kennedy Chishimba.
Okay.
Yeah, the only surviving child.
Was God involved at some point in your recovery?
Yeah, too much. My recovery is a miracle.
Okay.
It's a miracle. It's God himself, because I've been in rehabilitation at Chainama. I was kept 3-3, 2 no change, a relapse, 3 months sober, relapse, 3 months sober, relapse. You see, so God waited for a point. So for me, it is God first, because after I gave my life to Jesus, then I had cravings. That's how I was taken to Chainama to receive treatment and psychotherapy. And as we are speaking, from that point, from 1st April 2016, as we are speaking today, I am 10 years, 1 month, 6 days, alcohol and drug sobriety, to the glory of God.
To the glory of God, indeed.
And in my 10 years of sobriety, I decided to go back to school. I went to Bible school, did an advanced diploma in theology. As we are speaking, and I'm an ordained preacher man. I'm a reverend.
Thank God.
And in 2020, I decided to remarry because of being open with my status that I'm HIV positive. I found a very beautiful wife who is HIV negative, and together we went for psychotherapy, counseling, and she was put on pre-exposure prophylaxis prior to our marriage, before our marriage. So she was put on medication and to prevent her from contacting the virus. And together with my spouse, we have been married for 6 years. She has remained negative and I'm positive, and together we are blessed with 2 more children, a boy and a girl who are HIV negative. So we are a mixed status couple advocating in that space as well. And not only that, in 2021, I decided to go back to school at Levi Mwanawasa Medical University, where I completed the Bachelor of Science degree in mental health and clinical psychiatry. As we are speaking, I'm a licensed mental health and clinical psychiatrist, licensed by Health Professions Council of Zambia. And not only that, I'm also now pursuing a Master of Science in clinical neuropsychology at the University of Zambia. So change is possible.
All the glory for your life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to our viewers who are watching us. We go for a short break. We'll be right back. Okay. Breaking Free. You are watching us live on Light TV. Follow our page on Facebook, like it, share it. Also, share with a loved one who's struggling so that you learn so much. In the studio, I have with me Evangelist Brani Chishimba, who's also a mental health and clinical psychiatry. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Evangelist, as a mental health and clinical psychiatry officer, how do you define addiction?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Before I go that, I forgot to also say that I'm the author, you see? I'm the author of 3 books, Triumph Over Alcohol and Drug Addiction. This is my true life story, my inspirational story. This was launched in 2024 by the then Health Minister of Health, Honorable Sylvia T. Masebo. Yeah, she was being represented by the PS. And also the author of these 2 books, The Proven Code. Proven Code. This blends evidence-based practice with recovery and also divine cause for the flesh, from brokenness to purposeful living. This brings the faith-based intervention practice and also highlight the power of God in recovery. So these 2 books were launched at my 10th anniversary of sobriety, where we invited our owner, the Vice President, who came and officiated my event. Yeah, yes, and officially launched these books.
Sure. What a blessing. What
a
blessing.
Thank you very much. So you've asked for addiction.
Addiction. Sure.
Addiction, according to the WHO, it's a chronic brain disorder. A chronic brain disorder which is relapsing in nature, characterized by compulsive alcohol and drug seeking despite adverse consequences. Okay. So meaning it is a chronic brain disorder. So it is a classification under mental illnesses. So mental illnesses, we have mood disorders, neurodevelopmental disorders, you have personality disorders, psychotic disorders, trauma-related disorders, sexual, even substance use disorder, which defines addiction as a severe form. So addiction is a chronic brain disorder, meaning the brain gets sick, just like other organs. For example, kidneys, liver, eyes, even the brain is an organ, part of a human being. It gets sick. So it's a chronic brain disorder. And how does the brain get sick? The motivational centers of the brain are hijacked. Instead of you seeking for employment, seeking for food, you no longer seek for that. You start seeking for the drug or alcohol, because it gives you good motivation. And it is relapsing in nature. I'm now looking at the definitions. Sure. According to WHO, it's a chronic brain disorder which is relapsing. When we talk about relapsing, you heard me saying, I am 10 years, 1 month, 6 days alcohol and drug sobriety. Why am I counting? Because I am also at risk of relapse. You see, that's why when you combine you bring the faith-based intervention from brokenness to purposeful living. According to medicine, this condition is relapsing, meaning I am at risk. Yes. Even Evangelist branch is at risk according to medicine. Yes. But according to our God, I'm a new creation.
Yes, the orders God, the new has come.
You see? So you combine treatment, you combine biopsychosocial spiritual. You see?
Okay.
So addiction, and it is also compulsive in nature. It has nothing to do with your decision.
So in short, Evangelist, what you are saying, that addiction is more of psychological, physical, as well as spiritual.
Yeah, the addiction is, when you say it's more, it encompasses 3 components.
Okay.
Thanks to the psychiatrist George who formulated this. Biopsychosocial, biological, psychological, and social. So this is how addiction is composed of. So meaning biological, it affects your biological setup, your brain function, and everything to do with your body. Your body gets addicted even when you are saying I'm not addicted, but your body is addicted. Then there's also psychological. So it affects your psychological, and also social. Social is where we find family, spiritual, different. So this condition is biopsychosocial, unlike just looking at it as a spiritual condition. For example, all conditions, for example, HIV, you find pastors, bishops who are HIV positive, including myself, we take ARVs. But when a person has got brain problems, hallucinations, we don't want to take them so that they can receive antipsychotics. Instead, we just pray at church and not take them to the hospital. So even when a person comes who is struggling with alcohol and drug addiction to church, pray for them, take them to the hospital, take them also for rehabilitation.
Okay, thank you so much, Evangelist. Evangelist, what are some of the common triggers people overlook?
The common triggers people overlook is especially after you have come out of rehab. It is number one, the biggest one is the power of association. Association is the major trigger. The friends. Those friends you used to, if you want to live a life of sobriety and you have changed, and you are maybe a year sober, as long as you want to maintain those friends you used to drink with, then you are nearing relapse. So friends are a trigger. They can cause relapse. In fact, I've even got a personal statement. All those friends, it's not insulting them, but I've understood myself. All those friends I used to drink with, if they don't want to follow my new way, then they are irrelevant to my new life. That's just, it feels very sarcastic, it feels very, but that's
the truth.
That's just the truth. They're irrelevant. Now, how are we going to sit in the bar and start discussing what? There's nothing to discuss, you see. So you just have to be strong. So one trigger is friends, other trigger is money. Thanks to God that he had to cut off my job. Because I did not cut off my job, I could not have changed. Because I could say, Naleka, I got 3 weeks sober. The time salary ya this.
Sure. So, Evangelist, how can families identify early warning signs?
Yes, very, very important, especially in prevention. By the way, I'm also a universal prevention specialist trained by the Colombo Plan in conjunction with the Ministry of Health and the Drug Enforcement Commission, who are the recent 70 who were trained. So I understand also prevention very well. So families, there are ways, indicators. One of the indicator, for example, if your son used to have good friends who used to come, Then one day you just get shocked panganda. Na pesa shkweta meno monga ni newe if so. Hello, bamuze zopo bali. Nga bamdai. Mwana mboko angala shani. No mwana wandi. That's a sign.
Sure.
Sign ile milangero. Okay. You see, ile milanga tawe mwana kwata kuliwe. Appetite. Mwaledi la patebo used to supper 19 hours in patebo alefua ya ino kuisa either early or after.
Okay. You see? Thank you so much, Evangelist. What are some of the mistakes people make when trying to help someone struggling?
Adding to addiction, loving, over-loving. Sure. There's a thin line between, especially this one has to do with the mothers. Because only the mothers, at least as men, when you see your son, we are very strong and want to bring that discipline. But mothers now, there's that love which is so difficult, even when you share but you find, even my grandmother used to do exactly the same. Sometimes when I'm just home, she would come and call me by the name which she loved. She gives you a 10 kwacha, you see. Then you go and drink. So sometimes there's a thin line between that love and adding to addiction.
Thank you so much. We go for a second set of break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lynette.
Welcome back to Breaking Free. Today I'm with a special guest who happens to be Mr. Chishimba, a mental health and clinical psychiatry. Welcome back to the program, Mr. Bran.
Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Bran, recently you were just celebrating your 10 years of sobriety, where we also saw the Vice President of the Republic of Zambia in attendance.
Yeah.
How has the Vice President been helpful to this cause? Because we've been seeing him all over. We've seen him speaking to DEC. We've also seen him coming to most of your programs, encouraging people and also talking about mental health as well as drug abuse. Shed more light on that.
Thank you very much. We are first and foremost grateful to His Excellency Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, even for the support he's giving especially to us with lived experience, giving us platform, even for allowing her honor, the deputy, the entire vice president to come and support. Not only was she supporting me, but even supporting other rehabilitation centers, because there were many rehabs which came and partnered with us. And even those who are struggling with various mental health conditions, we are grateful to His Excellency. And secondly, the government is doing a lot of work and also a lot of things. One of them is they've even granted us a platform on ZNBC, which is free of charge. Today, we are having even a program in season 5, which comes every 21 hours, every Thursdays. You see, where we talk about addiction is real, and it's tagged beyond the high. And recently, is it last year, we were just trained as the first universal prevention specialist, as well as treatment specialist and recovery specialist, to combat alcohol and drug abuse. So we can see that we may not be there, but the government is concerned. Imagine even our owner herself. And not only did she come and say, no, we are going, she has to stay for the whole program. Look at, from 9 hours up to 13:30, we kept her. We were with her. She heard to our story. And it was not a program like organized by the government. No, it was the program organized by Evangelist Brand with partners. And she was able to sit and listen to us. Don't you think that is a good support enough?
It is.
Yes.
That's
and
what
even
we need.
launched the books.
Yeah, sure, that's what we need. Thank you so much, Evangelist. There are many other times we've seen or heard the President of the Republic of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, talking about drugs, raising awareness on drug and substance, alcohol and the like. And to some extent, he is been a key person who's been advising youths to work hard and also to just avoid these substance abuse.
Yeah.
And to some extent, I believe when the president speaks, to some extent, the pronouncements made by the president, to some extent, it becomes law.
Yeah.
There was a point when I heard him advising police officers to say, to some extent, whenever you arrest these people, especially who are abusing drugs, who are unruly, screen them. Sometimes for these others need counseling.
Yes, alternative.
It's not always that they should be put in prison. No, they need counseling.
In fact, we call it alternatives to incarceration.
Sure.
This is what we are advocating for. Even in my speech during the 10 years of alcohol and drug sobriety, I spoke about two aspects. Alternatives to incarceration, alternatives to dismissal.
Okay.
You don't need to dismiss a person who is working because of alcohol and drug addiction, unless they are trafficking. Sure. But if they're just abusing, they need treatment. Because once you dismiss them, you are sending that problem to the family. So you're not solving any problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You see. So we were also advocating that people should not be disengaged like the way I have survived. It doesn't mean everyone will survive. You see. So let us first, before we send this to prison, before we fire them from employment, let us subject them to treatment.
Do you think counseling should begin at a police level as well as the workplaces? Is it okay for workplaces maybe to, if they see something wrong in someone, to maybe be guided by a rehabilitation center so that they are helped?
Yes, that's why even in the Employment Act, there's an inclusion. When you read the Employment Act, it calls for all organizations, institutions to have a mental health policy in their work framework.
Okay.
So that when you have that mental health policy, you can invite trainer of trainers like me, of course yourself and others. We go and give training either to police officers and for sure we have seen it. The government, some departments in the government have already started inviting us, and some different organizations where we conduct those trainings so that they are able to understand. What are we trying to do? We're giving training for what we call peer recovery support sessions, where you are able to give support to somebody who is struggling with alcohol and drug addiction before you condemn them, before you stigmatize them.
Sure. Thank you so much. Evangelist, why do you think many people struggle in silence?
This is a very, very powerful point. Stigma is more dangerous than the addiction itself. That's why here where you're seeing me, I'm able to stand boldly and say, Evangelist Chishimba, who suffered with alcohol and drug addiction, HIV positive, and one time incarcerated, I am now educated, responsible, married, and having children, and working, and an author of 3 books, you see. So stigma is more dangerous. So people suffer in silence as a result of stigma. So let us stand, let us run away from this stigma. Let us be bold to speak about what we are going through, so that we normalize it. It becomes, so that's why people sometimes they say, encourage your evangelist.
Okay, thank you so
We
much.
are breaking stigma. We don't want people to suffer in silence.
Thank you so much. What does recovery looks like on a daily basis?
It's one day at a time, Dad.
Okay.
I'm 10 years, 1 month, 6 days. Tomorrow I'll be 10 years, 1
It's
month,
not a
7
joke.
days.
It's not a joke.
One day at a time. Remembering that living one day at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace.
Okay. Thank
That's
you so
recovery.
much. Sure. Can someone be fully free from addiction?
I am 10 years, 1 month, 6 days, alcohol and drug sobriety. The only day I'll be declared fully free from alcohol and drug addiction is the day I will exit this earth sober.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So the fight, we keep on fighting.
Sure. Evangelist, how important is faith, spirituality in your recovery journey?
Very important. In fact, 95% of my strength.
Okay.
In fact, I can just say 100%, because once I start sharing. You know what it is? Let me explain this. I'll ask you a question. What is 5 kilometers plus 5 centimeters? What's the answer?
I don't know.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
5 kg plus 5 liters is equal to what? These are two different, with different measuring units. These are two different dimensions with two different measuring units.
Sure.
So faith and also mental health treatment are two different with different measuring units. So faith is as powerful as you need it independently. Just like mental health recovery principles are also as powerful as you see, because the two cannot, no one will say I'm more. So each one has its own play in your life. So in my life, that's why I always love singing this song. I have decided to follow Jesus.
Sure.
I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no matter the pain. You move on.
In closing remarks, Evangelist, what advice would you give to someone out there struggling in silence?
Number one, before we talk about someone struggling, we talk about those who've not started. If you've not started, don't start. Prevention is better than treatment. Those who've started, just know that change is possible. You can still change and live a purposeful life, just like me. Change is possible, and the Lord can still change you. And we are also there, also helping people. People can even check my page, Evangelist Branch Chishimba. They can inbox me, or they can even directly call me on 0972 201483. 0972 201483 for help, so that we can live a society free of addiction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As we've heard today, trauma is real, but so is healing. Pain is powerful, but the purpose is greater. Your past may explain your story, but it does not have the final say. You have the power to rise, to heal, and to